Holding a pen. What's up, everybody? Red button means we're live. Some Casual Takes, episode 68, hosted by your boy, Stephen Pepper. It's going to be here on this Friday. I haven't done a Friday show in a while. This episode, by the way, is not sponsored by anybody. I haven't done a Friday show in a while, but I'm really trying to cement this Friday show and keep it alive, and we're here. You guys know I'm going to always be here on Mondays after the Sunday football games, but NBA season's approaching us. Baseball playoffs are approaching the conference championship series. I got to be here to give you guys a Friday show. I'm on fall break too. Fall break doesn't really matter for me because I never had classes on Friday anyways, but my school, we have like a little fall break. Most colleges do that. So I have a lot of free time on my hands. So I wanted to give you guys this Friday show. This weekend, I'm also going to spend some time before we get into the topics today. Light show today. Friday shows, NBA season isn't back. We just have the one Thursday night football game. So we have this Ken Carson. I haven't listened to Ken Carson yet. I only listened to West Side. I'm like 75% done with the West Side Gun album. I fell asleep last night. I had a good night out last. I fell asleep. I'm going to listen to most of the albums today. I listened to part of Offset. I listened to like some of the bangers, like the Travis, the Future song. I got to fully listen to those albums. Wait till you get a reaction out of me. Light episode, like I said, there's not really much going on in the sports world. Broncos, Chiefs, of course, Thursday night football. And I want to talk a little bit about some baseball. I want to get baseball. I want to ease you guys into baseball because as we approach the World Series, we're a day away. I think the games are either today or tomorrow. The conference championship games start in baseball. I want to ease you guys into. We're talking a little baseball. And I want to do like a prediction segment on Friday shows because I feel like since these Friday shows are kind of dead compared to Monday, they're not as full. Maybe I give you guys some of my picks of the week, what I like, who I'm going to predict the winners for the Sunday games. Let's just do that. Let's try it out today. But what is on Saturday is the Paul Dylan Dennis fight. I'm not going to talk much into this, but I don't know how many of you guys are following. Let me you guys know in the chat or down below in the comments. You guys winning tomorrow. Dylan Dennis, Jake Paul. Dylan Dennis, Logan Paul, KSI, and then Tommy Fury. They're playing. This is like the long-awaited biggest boxing match of the year, basically, because if you're on Twitter, you know a little bit about this Dylan Dennis Paul beef. I'm excited for this. I'm going to be watching this. I don't watch too much boxing, UFC, but when it's big names, when it's built up like this, I'm gonna watch. Who I got in this match though? I don't know. I'm probably gonna take. He has the experience. I don't know. I don't really. I'll take Tommy Fury over KSI. Brother of he's in the Fury family, and then I guess against Paul and Dennis, I'll just slightly take Dennis. I think that one probably goes the distance, because I don't think Dylan Dennis he's not much of a boxer, but I think that slightly goes the distance, and I'll take Dylan Dennis there. But let's get into football, the sport that I actually liked to watch. Thursday night football, Amazon Prime. Chiefs beat the Broncos in Kansas City 19-8. 19-8. The Broncos are just embarrassing. Like if you want a simple takeaway before I spend the next 10 minutes talking about the Denver Broncos, if you want a simple spark notes of what I'm about to say, they're just embarrassing. I said this a couple weeks ago. They do nothing right. What do the Denver Broncos do right? Defense. Oh my, no. They don't do defense right. They got 70 hung on them by the Dolphins. Quarterback. Dude, no. Receiver, it's okay. Running back, it's okay. Offensive line gave up 4 sacks. This team can't do anything right. It's hard for them to move the ball. It's hard for them to win games. I hate watching this team. And of course, they have to be on prime time again. Like, take them off prime time. They can't move the ball. It's hard for them to play football, especially Russ. Like, why are they on Thursday night football? Take them off. I don't want to see this team again. I think they got like 2 more primetime games before the season's over. They need to get off. Like, if you're Jeff Bezos last night, you were probably like biting your nails watching the live feed of all the Amazon Prime subscriptions dropping because people can't take one more game of a Russell Wilson. Like, Taylor Swift had to be at the game last night or else no one would have watched this game. Like, Swift saved. I'm not a Swiftie. I don't like when I do agree. I do like when the NFL is trying to promote Swift because that's good for business. But as like a fan, I hate that Swift is kind of like dominating the headlines. Like the biggest headline of the game today was Swift was there, not the actual football game. But Swift saved the ratings. Swift saved. Like I was like, okay, I'd rather them have a camera on Taylor Swift in the box rather than a possession of Russell Wilson. I'm not even a Swiftie. I think Taylor Swift's like mid. She got songs here or there, but I don't think she's like as great as the hype is for her. But I would have rather watched a Taylor Swift cutaway Every time they cut away to Taylor Swift, I was like, thank God. I don't want to see Russell Wilson, or I don't want to see this game. Get this team off Thursday. The writing was on the wall last year when they played my Colts, the Broncos. And it was like a 19-16 Colts win in Denver shit fest. They should have immediately just banned the Denver Broncos for playing another primetime. It's just like the Giants, but the Giants just have fans. And I guess the Broncos also have a lot of fans, so they will keep putting them on these primetime games. But the Denver Broncos, I want to talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, it looked like he was trying to be better than last year, but it looks like that was just a low bar. Everyone coming in this game was like, yo, look at the stats. Russell Wilson's kind of underrated. He's one of the leading touchdown guys. He's playing better than last year. Lowest bar in the league. Watch the tape. Stats might say otherwise. Watch the tape. Russell Wilson, he's cooked. They always used to make that joke, let Russ cook, because Seattle wouldn't let Russell Wilson just go win a game by himself. The let Russ cook. That meme. The Broncos are not asking Russ to cook like a Gordon Ramsay gourmet Food Network type dish, 5-star restaurant. The Broncos are asking him, Russ, just make Kraft mac and cheese. And Russ has burned the house down. The Broncos are saying, Russ, the Broncos are asking him, bro, I don't even think Russ can make PB&J. Russ can't even cook toast, dude. The Broncos aren't asking him to make a gourmet 5-star steak dinner, 3-course meal, Food Network contestant show, Hell's Kitchen. They're not asking for that. They're asking, dude, can you make ramen? Russ can't make ramen. You ask Russ, yo, put ramen on the stove. Man, that whole house is going up in flames. You got to call your insurance company. Call the fire department. Russell West, call the fire department. Call the insurance company. Russ is cooking. He just burnt the house down. That's it, bro. Look at Russ's stats last night. Russell Wilson, his 4-year extension worth $1 billion that the Broncos gave him when he got traded over, that sign and trade, doesn't kick in until next year. He's still on his he's still on a Seattle Seahawks deal right now. That new deal that he got doesn't kick into next year. And what did their extending quarterback do? 13-22, 95 yards. Can't even give me 100 yards, guys. That's called burning the house down, cooking ramen. 95 yards. A touchdown, okay, cool. It was late in the game, whatever. 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 2 picks. Bad picks. I mean, one of them was tipped, but the other one was bad. How do you not see Nick Bolton, dude? Bad. 4 sacks. Disgusting. Russell Wilson has home losses to Jimmy G, Zach Wilson, an 18-point home choke job to Sam Howell, and got 70 hung on him by Tua. Their only win this season was a mighty effort against Justin Fields. Wow, low bar, dude. The Chiefs last night were beatable. The Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs right now. The Chiefs only scored 19 points. The defense for the Broncos held up. The Broncos came in this game on a 15-game losing streak to the Chiefs. Chiefs don't look the same. They were due. It felt like the Broncos were due to get this game. And what did they do? They scored 8 points. 8 points. 60-minute football game. $300 million quarterback. 8 points. I've never seen a quarterback fall off like this. I was when I was walking home, because I was out last night with my friends, when I was walking home kind of digesting the game before today, I was like, I've never seen a quarterback fall off like this. Usually when a quarterback falls off, they're pushing 60. They got their AARP cards. They're about to retire. They got long injury history, major injuries too, like Manning's neck, Brady 47. Usually when quarterbacks fall off, they're 40 or they have this major injuries. Russ has had some injuries from here and there, like his last year in Seattle, but those were finger injuries, dude. Russ, without a significant injury, and he's only young 30s, is falling off. This is not a good sign for a guy you just gave a whopping huge contract extension before you've even seen him play. I don't even know why Sean Payton, I still believe is a good coach. I still think he's a good coach. I don't know. I don't think he's the biggest problem with this team. I don't know why Sean Payton took this job. Like, what did he see in this team? I never understood why he signed there in the first place. He stepped down as the coach of the Saints. He kind of felt like that time in New Orleans was over. Historic Saints coach. I know it's a low bar, but greatest coach in Saints history. One of the greatest coaches of my generation. Got a Super Bowl for that city, Louisiana. Historic coach, constantly won divisions. I don't know what he saw on this team. Like, what was here? Like, what did I tell you about, like, this team? Offensive line, not that great. Defense was pretty good before he got there. Now it's really bad. Receiving core is okay. Running backs, okay. And you have Russ. Sean Payton, his entire time coaching the New Orleans Saints, he had a man named Drew Brees. Guys, Drew Brees is like a top 5-6 quarterback to ever play this game. Look at all those passing records right now. Got Drew Brees. Go to Football Reference. Drew Brees, name was on like all of them. That's who Sean Payton was coaching. You know, in Sean Payton's career, Drew Brees' lowest QBR with Payton was 14.2 in a single game. What was Russ last night with Payton? 10.1. Shout out ESPN for that stat. This ain't Drew Brees, bro. I don't know what you saw on this team. Again, I said a little earlier, I don't think Sean Payton should get off blame free. I think Sean Payton had some stuff I didn't like. I think his coaching decisions throughout the season hasn't been the best. Because remember, at one point, Sean Payton was like one of the best offensive gurus, quarterback whisperer, one of the best coaches in the league. It doesn't really look like it right now. Still a really good coach. But there was like a moment, like right before halftime, Russ took a sack. I guess he forgot what down it was. It was so boneheaded. He called a timeout on 4th down when they were about to punt with like 20 seconds left to go in the second before the half. And the Chiefs had enough time to kick a field goal. Like, I don't know what he was doing there. But if you're Sean Payton, you have no games this weekend since you played on Thursday. You know what you do? You should go travel to Washington to see Knicks versus Penix. Go to South Bend and see Caleb Williams on the road, tough rainstorm environment. Go to Chapel Hill to see Drake May versus ranked Miami. That's what Sean Payton should do. Sean Payton, it's a long weekend. Go travel, bring your clipboard, bring some of your scouts. Go to Washington, see Knicks versus Penix. Go to South Bend, see Caleb Williams. Go to Chapel Hill, see Drake May. Russ is over. Look to get off Russ's contract. Start scheming for Caleb. Like, the Broncos right now, they're 1-5. That's bad. They're like going to have like a top 5 pick. Go ahead, start scheming that offense, Sean Payton. That offense that you were responsible for igniting when you got there. Go start scheming your offense around Caleb Williams and Drake May. Just do it. Russ, just cut your losses with Russ. I'm a guy who, I'm a guy who likes to make decisions before that decision falls in my lap. Like, I like to see decisions around the corner before I get hammered by them. Like, I like to see problems early before later. It's always best to get off mistakes early than later, because then you're stuck. Then, like, you're going to be 2 years in, and then you're going to be like, oh, this Russ is not going to work out. Like, if we were to take a poll right now, guys, how much longer does Russ have? A year, 2 years? Is he going to play the rest of his contract? Hell no. I bet good money right now, Russell Wilson's out the door this offseason. Russell Wilson is out the door before his new contract kicks in. I'd cut him. I'd try to look to trade him. Now, would a lot of people try to get his contract? What team in the league right now would try to get Russell Wilson? Probably no one. I'd eat that contract. Let him go. And just completely get like a Drake May, get a Knicks, get a Penix, just revamp this team. Judy's so disappointed in me, bro. Now, if you guys have been, tapped in all the drama, Steve Smith Sr., great all-time wide receiver, had a little beef with Jerry Jeudy, basically saying Jerry Judy's one of those just another guy in the league. He's not elite. He's not a wide receiver 1, might not even be wide receiver 2. And it's kind of looking like it, dude. I remember Judy's rookie year. It's kind of surprising that he looked like he just peaked in his rookie year. I thought this Judy guy from Alabama was going to be not an elite wide receiver number 1, but elite wide receiver 2. You know, that tier of Waddle, Metcalf, McLaurin, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins is in right now. I thought Judy could be in that same tier by like year 3, but we're like 3-4 years in. Judy looks like he's peaking his rookie year. Last night, 5 targets, 3 catches, 14 yards. He's not that good at like getting open. I know Russ is not that good, but Judy's not even better than Sutton. And I wouldn't even put Sutton close to any of those guys. Sutton's good, but he had a great touchdown catch. I wouldn't put Sutton close to any of those guys. Like, if you're the Broncos, I keep Sean Payton. You gave up a lot for Sean Payton. Sean Payton has a nice resume. He's a coach. I know it's easier to get off a coach, but dude, this is what Russ looked like before Sean Payton, and this is what Russ is looking like with Sean Payton. The exact same. I don't think it's a Payton problem. Got to get off Russ. Got to get off Russ. And let's move on to the Chiefs. I told you guys a couple shows ago that I see a lot of the New England Patriots. Oh, when the Chiefs beat the Jets, I said I saw a lot of the New England Patriots in the Chiefs. You know, the Patriots, they could just win in different ways. The Patriots could win a Super Bowl like, what was it, like 34-28 in overtime, needed offense. And then 2 years later, they won a Super Bowl 13-3. I've seen, Brady need to score 4 touchdowns and Brady not score any touchdowns. Brady win games clean. Brady win games with 3 interceptions. They still win because they're a dynasty. They figure it out. Just like Kansas City. Mahomes, 400 yards, couple touchdowns. They win. Mahomes, interceptions, barely any touchdowns. They still win. They just win different ways. The Chiefs right now, they don't look like the Chiefs. They don't. They're 5-1, but they don't look like Chiefs. But they're 5-1. The Chiefs right now, 24.5 points per game. That's still like top 10 in the league. But we're accustomed to a Mahomes team that puts up like 27 to 30 points a game, leading the league in scoring. This is the fewest in Mahomes' career as a Chiefs starter, that points per game total. Chiefs got no deep ball. We kind of saw this with the no Tyreek Hill thing. We said Tyreek Hill gone. Where the hell is the receiving core? Nowhere to be found. So that deep ball is going to go. We knew that deep ball was going to be out their team. But still, they got big plays last year. There wasn't a deep big play, but intermediate plays, great schemes that went far last year. Mahomes still averaged 8 yards a pass last year, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. No Tyreek Hill. This year, the no Tyreek Hill thing looks like a problem. This is the lowest yards per pass. I believe it's like 7.1. Still pretty good, but the lowest yards per pass in a Mahomes career. They have no deep threat. No verticality on this team. It's kind of like Kelsey, maybe 1 to 2. Like the receivers, there's no dominant receiver. All the receivers, like Mahomes is throwing to like 8 different receivers in a game. All of them average like a catch a game. That's it. Sky Moore isn't working out. Rashee Rice has potential to be okay, but he isn't. He had a big catch, clutch catch to set that game-sealing field goal. That was about it for him. Noah Gray, Tony had a touchdown, but he had 3 catches, 9 yards. They need some more verticality. They're getting away with it, I think, because they're playing like a Denver. They're playing like a Zach Wilson. I think when you play, I want to see them when they play like a Chargers. I want to see when they play a high-scoring offense, what is this team going to look like? Now, what's also helping them, now they did play the Jags, they did play the Vikings. What's also helping them is their defense. Their defense is looking really good. Jones, Bolton, that defense this year, this is the best defense. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of speed, a lot of corners that come at you, break up passes, force fumbles, force turnovers. This Chiefs defense is the best Mahomes has ever had. So that's what's also helping them as well. But I feel like, I know we kind of said this last year, but I'm feeling worse about the Chiefs this year than I did last year with this whole receiver thing. But they're still 5-1. They're still 5-1. They're 4-14 on 3rd down and 4th down last night. That was not good at all. This is also one of their biggest issues, other than that deep ball, other than they can't beat you over the top, is that 1-5 in the red zone. They got no big target outside of Travis Kelce. They're not that efficient on 3rd, 4th down, as they usually are. And in the red zone, where they excel in. They excel in the red zone under Mahomes and Reed. They have plays after plays after plays to beat you in the red zone. You get the Chiefs in the red zone, it's over. I feel like these last couple of years against the Chiefs, one of the biggest strategies was just keep them out of the red zone. This year, you got to want them in the red zone because they're not going to score a touchdown. Tony had a touchdown. That was about it. Other than that, they were settling for field goals all game. That's what the Chiefs were doing. It's an issue that they have no big target outside of Travis Kelce. Juju, who I don't think that's a great wide receiver, but that's like a B- wide receiver, who I know B- is really small, but considered in this Chiefs receiving corps, that's pretty huge because they got a bunch of CD guys. Without like a Juju, without like a receiving threat like that, a bigger body, a guy with more experience, dude can get a little bit open in the red zone. They don't have him on their team. They can't score in the red zone. If you lock down Travis Kelce, who's there? They are running the ball particularly good, though. I do like Pacheco. He can catch, he can run, he runs hard. He had a nice hard run I saw in the game for a first down. That's also helping. But it doesn't help when Mahomes is throwing interceptions. Mahomes got 5 interceptions on the year. He had 12 last year. He's only played 5 games now. Mahomes is getting sloppier this year. That's also why they're not as efficient on 3rd and 4th down and in the red zone. Is Mahomes getting sloppy? He had that interception, which was really, really bad. Now, again, you're playing the Broncos. He had some interceptions because the Jets. Playing the Jets. You can get away with those, but you can't be sloppy against like a Philly. You can't be sloppy against a San Fran. I'm going to pull up their schedule right here. They got the Chargers, but they got Miami, they got Philly, they got Buffalo, they got Cincinnati, the Chargers twice. Can't be sloppy against those teams that can score 30 on you. You can be sloppy against the Jets. You can be sloppy against the Broncos. You can be sloppy against the Bears. Those teams are barely scoring 10 points. Can't be sloppy. Can't be inefficient against Bills, Eagles, Bengals. Can't be that. But I do have faith this team will eventually get it right. Mahomes, Reed, Kelsey, come on. They'll figure it out, right, guys? They'll figure it out. Mahomes, Reed, Kelsey, they'll figure it out. I got faith in them. And just like the Pats, they own their division. What is that? 16 games in a row against the Broncos. Last time the Broncos beat the Chiefs, it was Manning's last year. Post Manning, the Broncos haven't won a single game against the Chiefs. Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. 12 straight wins against division games. What's going to help the Chiefs, just like the Pats, is that you can dial in. You remember the Pats, Bills, Jets, Dolphins. You can dial in like 3 to 5, maybe 6 wins in their division a year onto their record. With the Chiefs, Raiders, Jimmy G, Derek Carr. Chargers good, but they own the Chargers. And the Broncos, Russ, Drew Lock, they dialed in wins every single year against their divisional opponents. Now, just like the Patriots, the Miami Dolphins made the playoffs once every blue moon. People can probably hear what I'm trying to say right now, and they're like, what are you talking about? The Chargers are elite. Chargers have made the playoffs one time with Justin Herbert. So the Jets made back-to-back AFC championships under Tom Brady on Tom Brady's watch. Raiders made the playoffs once? Who in Mahomes' division is making back-to-back AFC championships? You can honestly argue that the AFC West under the Mahomes administration is easier than the AFC East that Brady played against. You can honestly make that argument. I'll explain it later because I've been spending too much time, but maybe in a week or so, maybe when they play the Chargers. I'll hold that take when they play the Chargers. Get me back on that. We got to switch topics because we've been talking way too. I've been yapping. I've been talking like I'm the mayor of Yapperville, as they'll say on Twitch. Let's move on to this take I want to get off. Really quick take, just want to get it off. Because it relates to my guy in the back and my guy right here. 2 days ago was the 11th. It was the 11th of October, 3-year anniversary of my Glorious Kings 4th title, the Lakers ring number 17, I believe. In the bubble. Mickey. Okay, dude. So the Dodgers also won in 2020. Who's Mickey? The Dodgers, 100-win season, they had World Series favorite. They played at Arizona Diamondbacks team in the National League Divisional Series. Dodgers had a bye. Dodgers in Los Angeles hosting that. They killed them in the regular season. Dodgers, I think, in that division, they're in the same division. I think they were up 16 games on the Diamondbacks when the season ended. And they got swept. Swept by the little pros in Phoenix. They got swept. The Dodgers. So I want to ask you guys this. I'm going to pull up this graphic because this kind of explains what the Dodgers have been doing. So the Dodgers, 2019, 106-win season, lost in the divisional series. 2021, lost in the conference series, 106-win year. 2022, 111-win year. 111, oh my God, lost in the DS. 2023, lost in the DS, 100-win season. Dodgers have one playoff win in 2 years, despite winning 100 games. Oh, look at this graphic. When did they win the championship? Oh, 2020. Wow. Everyone wants to tell me that the Lakers championship in 2020 was Mickey, but I think in reality, it was a cover up for the Dodgers this whole time. Whose ring was Mickier? The Lakers or the Dodgers? I get it. It's funny. You guys don't like LeBron. Mickey ring 2020. The Dodgers was a million times easier. You want to talk about Fugazi ring? You want to diamond test the ring? Check on the Dodgers first before you go talk about the Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers, people forget, they played 71. The Lakers played 71 games out of a possible 82-game season in 2020. That's 87% of their games. They were the number one team in the league before the NBA shut down. They were the number one seed in the West for the league shut down. They played all those games in front of fans. Whereas the Dodgers, when they won their championship, it was a 60-win Major League Baseball season. They're supposed to play 162 games. That's 37% of the games. All games are in front of no fans. The Dodgers, other than the Lakers, the Dodgers recently, or the Dodgers have been expected, like the expectations for the Dodgers to repeat their championship in 2020 have been far greater than the Lakers. Because for the Lakers, they've had injuries, and LeBron and AD, for these last couple of years, they've been missing 30 to 40 games a season. They had a Russell Westbrook for 2 years. They had coaching changes, instability. Whereas the Dodgers, stable. Dave Roberts still there. Mookie's still there. They're healthy compared to the Lakers. They added a Freddie Freeman. Like, they have MVPs. They're winning 100 games. And they can't repeat their title. They have one playoff win in 2 years. One playoff win in 2 years. Now that the Lakers, healthy, stable roster, they made it back to the conference chip. Easy. Look at their opponents. What makes it even mickier, can't believe I even said that, mickier, that's not even a word. When you look at their opponents, who do the Dodgers play in the World Series? The Rays. Bro, the Rays have not won a playoff series since 2020. Whereas the Lakers, they played the Miami Heat. Miami Heat since 2020, 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances and an NBA championship appearance. Whose ring was makier? Yeah, go ahead. Keep making fun of LeBron. Keep trying to discredit this ring. Listen, they played most of the season in front of fans. They won. The Lakers, they played at least 6, because I know they played like 8 regular season games in the bubble to like warm up. I think they played like 4 games in front of fans before the league shut down. They were the number one seed in the West, so they were probably going to win the championship anyways. The Lakers, the opponent they played in the finals, has repeated their success. Whereas the Rays, despite winning 100 games a season, haven't won a playoff series since 2020. The Dodgers haven't been able to go back to the World Series despite being extremely stable. Now, I will give the Dodgers a little pass here because this season they were down to Walker Buehler. Their pitching staff this year was nowhere close to where they have been in these last couple of years. No Walker Buehler. Julio Urias, I don't think he was there. They've been down some pitching guys. Obviously, Bauer, but that was like 2 years ago. So they've been down some pitching guys, but they still brought in a Freddie Freeman, a World Series winner, an MVP candidate. They bought at the deadline, brought in some guys, brought in some bullpen arms, brought in a Lance Lynn who got absolutely destroyed in the playoffs. Those are the guys who they brought in. They still have a Dave Roberts. They still have Mookie in the clubhouse. They still have a lot of those championship winning guys. And they have one playoff win in 2 years, despite winning. They won 111 games in 22. The Lakers have been, everyone's been clowning the Lakers saying 2020 is a fugazi because the Lakers haven't gone back. I wonder why the Lakers haven't gone back. They're dealing with injuries. AD, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis is playing 40 games a year. LeBron's playing 40 games a year. They had Westbrook. Coaching changes. And now they got stable. They went back to the conference finals. And I think the Lakers are going to go to the NBA finals this year, win the West. We'll revisit this when the Lakers go back to the finals at the end of the year because, they will. I think they're the best team in the Western Conference. So when the Lakers go back to the finals this year, I'm going to bring this take back up again. Whose ring was Mickey? I'm tired of this Mickey Mouse crap, dude. I'm tired. All right, before we end the show, let me pick. Let me pick some of my games. This is not betting advice. These are just predictions. I'm not asking you to spend your money on your FanDuel or whatever underground casino sports book you got. This isn't betting advice. But I want to get my predictions for these Sunday's games. Now, international series in London, no one watches these. No one's firing up. If you're a college student, you have fun on Saturday. No one's firing up a 9:30 Sunday game in London. Ravens, Titans. Ravens are going to win that one for sure, though. I think that Ravens need a bounce back win. I think the Ravens are an okay team. I think I'll take Lamar over Tannehill any day. The defense of the Titans is really good, but I think the Ravens need a bounce back win after that, whatever just happened in the Pittsburgh game. Commanders, Falcons, in Atlanta. Desmond Ridder surprisingly hasn't lost a home game in college or a National Football League. Atlanta 2.5-point favorite. I kind of like how the Commanders are playing. I'm not going to bet against. This is not gambling advice. I didn't say bet. I'll slide with Atlanta. I'll slide with Atlanta on this one. I'm not going to say no to a team that hasn't lost a home game yet. Let me get to some interesting games though. Those are some games you're probably not going to watch. Red Zone's going to go to those games maybe once or twice. This is interesting. Vikings in Chicago are a 3-point favorite despite Justin Jefferson not playing. Now, when I see a road dog, especially without their best player, when I see a road favorite, especially without their best player, especially when it's 3 points, you're like, okay, what does Vegas know? I know the home field advantage in the NFL is shrinking on the lines. I think it's like a 1-point boost now. It used to be like 2 or 3 points you used to get for being at home. It's like 1 now. What does Vegas know? I think if you're – I'm not trying to make this betting advice. I almost slipped up again. I think if you want to pick upset of the week, I guess, I'm picking the Bears. Look what they just did. I know it was against the Commanders. That defense is not great in secondary. You could say it was a blind squirrel finds a nut type game for Justin Fields. But I would take the Bears minus 3.5. Minus 3. I would have loved if it was 3.5. I would pick the Bears to actually flat out just win that game against Minnesota. I just think Minnesota, that's another not good defense for Fields to put up some touchdowns against and try to get the season going. Who's guarding DJ Moore on that Vikings team? Give me the Bears to actually win that game. Because I don't like the Vikings. I don't think they're that good. I don't know what I don't like these games. Kind of feel like trap games to me because it's kind of like, what does Vegas know? Like who's picking the Vikings? But I'll take the Bears in that one if I had to pick upset. Now a lot of people are picking Seattle to upset Cincinnati. I'm still picking Cincinnati. Now I don't think this is like last year. Last year Cincinnati Bengals were in the exact same position. They were 2-3 going into week 6. Bye approaching. They had a back game against the Saints. Jamar Chase went off. Now, Jamar Chase had his go-off game against the Cardinals week prior this year. I'm not picking Seattle up. I got Cincinnati to win kind of comfortably, not like blowout, but maybe by a touchdown or something. I think Cincinnati really needs to win this game going to a bye. Seattle, I've seen their DBs are getting healthier. Jamal Adams is coming back. They got a Witherspoon. They got some guys, but I've seen their pass per game stats. It doesn't look that good. And if Joe Burrow is actually for real healthy and the Cardinals game wasn't a fluke and Jamar Chase and Burrow are back to being that duo that we all know, they could take the top off of Seattle in Cincinnati and beat the Seahawks by a touchdown. I think they need this game. I think who's hungrier for this game? I know it's like a cliche and it might not matter the most, but Cincinnati desperately needs this win. Because if you're looking at the Bengals, they lose this game, they're 2-4, which makes it extremely hard. It makes it extremely hard to make the playoffs when you're starting the season 2-4. They do go into the bye, but if they come off the bye 2-4, They got San Francisco and Buffalo waiting to smack them. And Cincinnati could be 2-6 before we know it. They desperately need this game. So give me Cincinnati. All right, let's look at some few more games before we get up out of here. That I like. The Jags own us. I know some people like the Colts in this one. No AR. The Jags just own us. It's in Jacksonville too. It's been forever since we beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. I don't know the stat on that, but it's been forever. I'd avoid this game. Deshaun Watson's out. I'm not the Browns. No, like DTR starts against San Francisco. That's a 10-point win right there. Dolphins, Carolina. That's also double digits. They got that one at -14. Saints, Texans. Ooh. Saints. I like these type of games where the road team, where a team that I think is slept on at home is the home dog. Now it's only 2, not like 3.5. Two's kind of small number. Dude, I think Houston's beating New Orleans. I really like CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud right now. Now the Saints defense is really good. It's better than Texans. Saints looked really good against New England. But I like how CJ Stroud is throwing the ball. I think they lost a game to the Falcons. If I had to pick some upsets, if I had to throw up some fire picks, kind of get ballsy here, give me the Texans at home against the Saints. CJ Stroud on the year, he's got 1,461 passing yards, 7 touchdowns. Nico Collins is looking like a pretty good wide receiver. I didn't think the Texans, well, Nico Collins isn't like special, but I think the Texans had like okay weapons, unlike Carolina Panthers. Nico Collins is pretty good. Got 3 touchdowns in the year. But other than that, there's not that many interesting games. Cardinals Rams was cool in like 21. Patriots Raiders, no one's watching that. Jimmy G versus probably Bailey Zappi. Jets Eagles, again, like this week of NFL is not that great, to be honest. I'm looking at all these games. It's not that great. Now, the Lions are the road favorites against the Bucs, but I'm still taking the Lions. A lot of people I heard are taking the Bucs. I think the Lions offense is really, really good. The Lions offense the Lions are this close to being like maybe the best offense in the league. They're just missing that deep threat over the top guy, like that pop, a dude who can just bomb a 60-yard to. Jameson Williams, he could be that. The kid from Alabama who got suspended, I think he could be that. But this Detroit Lions team is really good. A lot of people are probably going to tell you Buccaneers winning. Nah, Lions, I think, beat them pretty comfortably in Tampa Bay. I think this Lions team is really good. O-line special. The way they've rebuilt this team has been absolutely insane. They've done the right way. Not many big-time free agents. They did some free agents here and there, but like not big time. Some good trades. That Goff trade, but it was for Stafford, though. They're not like some rebuilds. They'll like spend like $500 million. They're not doing that. They really built it in the draft. They got a lot of their offensive line in the draft, a lot of their defensive line in the draft. The Hutchinson, great offensive line as well. I take the Lions over there. And then Sunday Night Football. Speak of the devil about these primetime games, ladies and gentlemen. We get a Sunday night. We have the Giants every other primetime slot. They either get a Monday, Thursday, or Sunday night every other week. They play the Bills. And I don't think Daniel Jones is playing. I think he suffered a pretty bad injury against the Dolphins. So it'll be a Tyrod Taylor against his former team in the Bills. I guess I'm doing homework early on Sunday because I'm not watching that game. I'll watch the game. Guys, I watch the games. Someone's going to be like, all right, I'm not listening to this dude anymore. He doesn't watch games. I'll watch the game, guys. It just wouldn't be a priority. Now that's going to get clipped. Someone's going to be like, oh, you don't watch the games. Whatever you just said is, no, I watch the games. But you know what I mean? Like, that looks like a homework early type game. Monday, though, Chargers, Cowboys. I'll probably talk Monday on the Sunday show. But this was a pretty good episode, guys. I try to get us to 40 minutes because it could have been light, but a nice little 40-minute show that I was able to yap us to. Because I knew today it was going to be a little light, but I wanted to get you guys a nice, decently length podcast. But I appreciate everybody who was in the chat today, who watched live on Twitch. Shout out to the YouTube audience. It keeps growing. Next show will be on Monday around 12 o'clock. But just in case anything gets moved, times change, follow the social media to stay updated on all things. Some Casual Takes is the handle. But until Monday, hope you guys have a great weekend. Great college football games on Saturday. And the NFL slate isn't that good, but Saturday, tomorrow, college football games are great. See you guys.